I think we're live, Sylvia. I think we're live. How are you doing?
I'm good, John. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And I know you've had a super, super busy day. So thank you for finding the time all the way
Oh,
from sunny Spain to join me.
thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
Right, checking the lots of people in already. Lots of
Yes.
people. If you've joined, guys, let us know where you're dialing in from. As always, we love to see that. Just drop it into the chat or the questions or whatever you have there.
Yep.
Just looking for familiar names.
Mm.
Steve from not so sunny Sussex. Well, I can tell you what, Steve, it's not so sunny in London. Sylvia, how's the weather in Spain?
Well, here in Asturias, which is northern Spain, the sun has just come out.
We
So it's
hate
been
you.
a very gloomy day, but now it's decided to make a
Uh,
break.
a glorious afternoon and evening ahead in sunny
Yes.
Spain. I'm very
In
jealous.
Portsmouth.
Who's Holly? Yeah, I know Holly. Holly, how you doing? Hello from Portsmouth.
Simon.
James, you're on mute. Simon. Simon from yeah, Simon. Simon, I've got a treat for you, my friend. I've got a treat for you. One of your nemesis. I'm going to call them out today.
Oh, Dorset. Oh, lovely Dorset.
Dorset. Very nice, very nice. Okay, it's a minute past. Let's give it another 30 seconds. And don't forget, as we go through the webinar, guys, any questions, any thoughts, anything, drop it into the questions or the chat. We love and we appreciate any emojis and all that kind of stuff. So feel free to share some love. Okay, let's get going. We've got plenty of people here. So without further ado, I'm John Earnshaw, the Chief Product Evangelist at Datametrics. I'm obsessed with search as well as algorithms, and I'm joined, thankfully, by Sylvia. Sylvia, tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm Sylvia. I'm Senior SEO Manager at Pi, and I'm not as obsessed as John, but
Here you are.
I love it. I love it as
You're, you're
nearly as
still
much
a geek, Sylvia.
I am at heart, I have to say, yes.
You are, you are. Simon, yes, my friend. Yes, just wait a little bit. Um, cool. Okay, let's get into it. Housekeeping. You guys have been here before. You know the stuff. Let's try and keep it interactive. Any questions, just drop them. If we can answer on the fly, we'll do that. If we need more time, we'll answer at the end, but we'll always come back to you, even if it's by email. And the subject of today is all about algorithms. Okay, so it's nice to take a little bit of a break from the crazy world of AI and search generative experience and AI overviews and ChatGPT and all of that. We're going to dive straight away into the June core update. We're going to call out winners. We're going to call out losers. And then we're going to talk about a stealth update that Google never mentioned, but it was absolutely brutal. Worst algo I've seen in the last couple of years. Then we're going to talk a little bit about AI and what we think is coming. And finally, ask the question, do these updates still matter in this AI world, this conversational search world? Right, but as always, we'll begin with a poll. Were
Love.
you impacted? Yeah, let's have a look. Because I don't know about you, Sue, a lot of people said this one wasn't a very big one.
I've seen, I would say it was otherwise. I've seen many of our, not our customers themselves, but looking at the landscape, their competitors have been highly impacted. I've seen some huge impacts on the insurance industry. I've
Yeah,
seen huge impacts on the e-commerce industry in the
yeah,
US, for example, e-commerce, luxury e-commerce. I've seen them everywhere.
they're
So
still big.
they
But they're
have.
not getting the press. I think 'cause everyone's so
No,
obsessed with AI that we're just not paying attention to these. And today we're going to show you the reason why you have to pay attention. I was impacted negatively
oh,
48% of this.
sorry, everyone.
And that, yeah, yeah. I didn't see any impact, 17%. Positive, we got a 13. I'm not sure, 22. Well, I tell you what, guys, anybody who's not sure, or you want more information, reach out to Sylvia or
Yes.
myself, and we can take a quick look and get back to you rapidly. Were you hit or not? Okay, let's close that and get into the weeds of this. Okay, winners and losers. But let's start. Let's assume there are people new to search in the audience. Sylvia, what the heck is a core update, and why should we be so concerned?
So we all know that Google releases what they call baby algorithm updates every day. So Google is changing, the ranking systems are changing. But when there's a significant change in the ranking systems, when it impacts everyone, that's when that's what a core update is. And at the heart of a core update is quality signals. Okay,
Yeah,
so double it: expertise, experience, authority, and trust. So that is what Google is going to review every time that it releases a core algo update. It's a tweak in the main system that reviews those ranking signals. Even though it is not a ranking signal, Google has
yeah.
said that, but it's more than that. It's a quality. They are signals that need to be present on your site. We all know that.
Thank you, Sylvia. Wonderfully explained. And you're absolutely right. Double Eat and core updates are inextricably intertwined.
Yeah.
They both go together. So let's then just think about how to tell, because a number of people in that poll weren't sure if they'd been impacted or not. But it's so important. Even if you
Mm,
weren't impacted, it's so important to know. And if you've got a negative, it's even more critical. So
yeah.
how do we do it? Well, we use visibility indexes. Other indexes are available, but they're probably not as good. I can say that, can't
No.
I? So we'll start there. We'll show you exactly how you do it. You've got to know the dates. If it's a core, you're always told when it's dropped. And it's normally a 2 or 3 week rollout.
Yeah.
And Sylvia, as you said, site-wide. Just a part
Yeah.
of your site's impacted, it's that's not the case unless it's a
No.
part of your site where the content was just performing really badly anyway. That's
Yes.
okay. Go back 3 months. Get away from today and what you think is a drop. Go back 3 months. Go back 6 months. Important to look at the previous cause, not just this one. Compare with your competitors and
Yeah.
know if you're vulnerable. Who's vulnerable? If all your competitors got an uplift and you didn't, you may get a neg in the next one. You've got to know you're vulnerable. Let's get into the first names.
Yes.
Okay, men's fashion. Men's fashion in the UK. Just calling out the winners. Just calling out the winners. Oh, I keep getting some strange message on my screen. Okay, calling out the winners. ASOS. Well done, ASOS.
Oh,
In this visibility index, which basically scores your content, we're talking about thousands of keywords here represented by those lines. We're looking at the performance of brands. ASOS benefited from the past two cores. There we had the March update, the dotted red line. Then we've got the end of June update, double increase. And if you look at the relationship between the green and the blue line, the blue is Amazon. Wow. Amazon was like 25% better in terms of visibility. And now how the tables are turned when you
yeah.
take your eye off the ball. House of Fraser, well done, guys. A win. Matalan. Yeah, well, is that a thumbs up for House of Fraser, Sylvia?
Yes. Yes.
Quite right, too. Down at the bottom, Boohoo. Well, we know what happened to Boohoo, and that's like a real Boohoo moment. That's not an algorithm update. That happened in
No.
isolation. That's to do with that business. And you'll see lots of things that look like an algo, but if the rest of the world is unaffected, then it's probably not.
Hmm.
So let's take a look at ASOS just on its own. Strip out the
Okay.
competition, focus on the brand. Tell me what you think of that. Wowzers. Look at that. That's what a core looks like. A 15% increase in visibility over 3 months. And that's phenomenal. And remember, you've got to remember that, and you know this, Sylvia, those lines are based on thousands of
Yeah.
keywords. And when you look at a high level, while it doesn't look like a big impact, remember ASOS, who was 25% worse off than Amazon, has overtaken them. thanks to two successful core updates driven by quality signals. Okay, and
Consistent
those,
work they must have put in place to reach
yeah,
these levels of, of benefit.
exactly. That doesn't happen by accident anymore. It
No,
might have done in the first course, but no, you got to
no,
work hard at those core signals. And,
yeah,
and and these uplifts like that. I mean, ASOS waking up the next morning as head of search. Wow, pat yourself on the back. Okay, it's
ask for
literally
a
a gift.
raise. Yes,
I'd be asking for a rise. Yeah, take the credit. Um,
yeah,
but never rest on your laurels because, as you'll see in a bit, Google can give and Google can take away.
yeah.
Right. Let's move away from that category. Are we going to do US in a second, guys? Don't worry. UK electrical. Now,
Mm.
subtle but suspicious. So we're going to, and this is based on around 10,000 keywords, those lines. And when you're looking at an index based on such a quantity of keywords that represent content, even the little changes can make a substantial impact on your revenue. Argos looks like a negative impact. We'll find
Yep.
out if it was. Very clearly a negative impact. And again, when you drill in from a visibility index, strip out the competition now that we know there's an impact, in we go, there's very. And and that's a shame for them. Okay, the visibility wasn't brilliant, but between March and May, they were making such great progress in the SERP, but with no immediate benefit from the previous update, that March update. They shouldn't have rested on their laurels because their competitors all saw an update. They didn't.
Yeah.
They should have known that they were likely to be negatively impacted. Let's take a look at Argos. I love to I love looking at Argos. So despite, as it says there, this is not algorithmic. This is of their own doing. Okay,
Yeah.
and drops, algorithmic drops, never happen with core updates before they're supposed to. If you
Yeah.
see big drops the day before, it ain't a core, is it, Sylvia?
No, 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 no. I've seen that before, and people kept wondering, oh, was this algorithmic? And it
Yeah,
looks like an algorithm. It looks very, very similar, but it's not.
yeah. You got to zoom in. You really
Yeah,
got to zoom in to get to the detail. And every one of these lines can tell such wonderful stories. So with Argos, the decline appeared to happen around the 17th of June across multiple categories. Okay, home telephones, iPads and tablets, all of those. Argos needs to do something to fix this because that's not a trajectory I would like to be on. Now then,
Argot needs to get in touch with us.
that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
Chat to them
we can help them.
back in the day.
Yes.
Yeah, this is. I would not want this attritional loss of
No,
visibility at this particular time.
no.
Now, we mentioned that Google gives and Google takes away.
Hmm.
And here is a great example of something we often see. And it's super interesting because it can happen quite often with core updates. Okay, US electrical,
Hmm.
two vertical lines. We've got the March core update and we've got the 30th of June, the most recent core update.
Wow.
Updates targeting quality. And in order of lines and colors here, okay, we've got Amazon at the top, Best Buy, Walmart, eBay, Target, Home Depot, or if you're from the other side of the pond, it's Home Depot, I believe. How do you say it, Sylvia?
I don't know. We were talking about Ralph Lauren the other day, right? Or was it today? Some people were
Oh,
calling it Ralph Lauren.
Ralph Lauren, guilty as charged, but not anymore. I've learnt my lesson. But for our friends across the pond, Home Depot. Um, and then the final one is Costco. So
Mm.
focus on the green. Okay, focus on really every one of these lines could tell an interesting story. I guarantee drilling down through these visibility indexes will reveal nothing but opportunity for all of these. Okay, but focus on the green. So Best Buy, we had the March update early this year, a huge positive impact. And then
Yep.
as we move forward to June, a drop. Pretty much
Big one.
everything that was given was taken away. I'm sure
Yep.
you've seen this as well, haven't you?
Oh, I have seen it, and it's so painful. I mean, from a business, it's a deal
Yeah.
breaker.
Yeah. I always wonder about somebody coming in as a new head of search to a business
Mm.
without knowledge of previous core update. To be honest, it's one of the first things I'd be looking at. Not just performance today. Forget performance today. Let's go back in time. You need that historic view to
Yep.
predict the future.
Yep.
And if Best Buy doesn't do something now, I see another neg. I see another negative coming up later this year with a combined update that I suspect is going to have spam rolled into it. More on that in a second. And
Mhm.
Target, poor old Target. They had a drop around early May.
Mm.
Wasn't an algo. That was their own volition. And then they dropped again. But let's zoom in. Just Best Buy. Best Buy in the US SERP by category. You can see that from the top all the way down. And certainly the higher positioned you are, the bigger the drop's going to look because that's how visibility indexes work. And literally after such a big win, they're back almost to where they started. And if you want to, if you want to take a different spin on this, look at your site in a different SERP. So for this Best Buy, we turn to the UK SERP, and it's even bigger. Wowzers! The cat represents what turned out to be a dead cat bounce. Sylvia, I'm not going to tell the story about the dead cat that I told you a short while ago. That's for another
Please go.
day. No, I won't. But yeah, for those of you familiar with the stock market, a dead cat bounce looked like it was coming back up, but it went nowhere. So that's what we saw there. Best Buy. Best Buy. If you want to have a little chat, let's do that. But yeah, exactly. In the meantime, let's turn our attention to the UK supermarkets. UK supermarkets. And again, guys, if you, oh, right, Holly, yes, of course, we'll have a look at your site. Honestly, guys, drop it into the chat if you want us to take a look at your site, because we'll be able to tell you instantly if you were impacted. Now, it's always fun looking at supermarkets. Do you have a favourite supermarket in the UK, Sylvia?
That's a good
Where do you shop?
question. Do I
Where do
have
you
a
shop?
favorite supermarket?
Yeah,
I shop at Lidl, believe it or not.
very good, very good, very good. Personally,
I
I'm a
like
fan of Sainsbury's. You
I
like
like
you like what?
Sainsbury's.
I love it. It's only because it's the closest one to me.
Mm.
But let's find out who the winners and losers are in the UK supermarkets. And if you're from the US and you want us to do the same in the US, then just shout out and we can send you that. We'll send it to you tomorrow. We'll send it to you tomorrow. That's a promise. Okay. Afterwards, I'll be kicking myself when we get 100 requests. But anyway, we'd love to do this. Okay. A 12-month view. Wowzers. Wowzers. The vertical dotted red lines represent core updates. Core updates. Now, let's start from the top. Okay, let's start from the top. So we got Tesco. So Tesco really seeing that their first declines after steady increases from December 2024. And it does look as though they were negatively impacted by that update. But
Mm.
also, were they really? Well, they started declining back in early May. Now, we could drill down and definitively rule in or out like we did, but I'm not going to do that today. But my goodness, underneath Tesco in green and blue, look at that.
Wow.
Look at that volatility, that trading of places. What does that represent? I mean, those lines to me represent nothing but profit, nothing but money, nothing but revenue. And
Yep.
when you look at Sainsbury's in green, boom, massive uplift from that last update after what was arguably a torturous February, March into early April.
Yeah.
that was a yeah that was a difficult time for them, a difficult and that, again, that's something we could scroll down on. Um, so what else we got? Asda. Okay,
Mhm.
where's Asda? Asda's Asda's in blue, obviously. Seeing their first declines from this core update, but it was a definite core that hit Asda in blue, but they were on their way south a little bit before that. But Asda, yeah, you were hit by the core. Waitrose, okay, what color we got? Waitrose. Waitrose is in brown. This is a strange one. Need to look at this in a little bit more detail. They appeared to get an immediate uplift, but then that was taken away
Yeah,
within 10 days.
I've seen that
Yes,
with
tell me.
many people, many some of our customers, sadly, which at the beginning I thought, oh, they've been benefited by these core algo update, and they
Yeah,
lost all that initial uplift after 10 days or so, which was. But I've seen that across industries, across different customers. I've never
yeah.
seen that before. Well, we did see it that time when the algo update coincided with Black Friday. Remember? two
Yeah,
years
yeah. I'd rather forget, but yeah, I remember
ago.
that. But probably after this call, probably I'm going to drill down and try and find out exactly what
Mm,
happened. Was it something they did to take away the win that they had, or did Google just take it back
yeah.
a couple of weeks after? Um, oh dear, Aldi. Aldi in red at the bottom. Oh dear, oh dear. Wasn't algorithmic. They had some sort of major disaster in mid-May of this year after appearing to improve steadily.
Yeah.
But again, we could spend hours on this chart because it's always worth looking not just at the latest June 30th update, but go back to March, go to December, go back to last year. Understand your trajectory.
Mm,
Are we set up to win at the next one? And again, I'll say, if you didn't benefit, but a competitor did, and you're pretty equal, then you need to up your double eat game before the next one.
yeah.
So I just want to drill down on all of these, but we sadly don't have time for that. So let's drop in another poll. Now, Sylvia, you rightly said Google does little updates almost every day, baby updates. Let's talk about major updates like core. Like, does Google always tell you? I remember the updates from the old days, like Big Daddy and Jagger from years ago, where they were named afterwards. Okay, yes, yes, nearly 20%. Yes, not sure, 11. No, the sneaky devils say 68% of people. What do you think, Sil? What do you reckon? What do you reckon?
So I think it does most, like 90% of the time. I mean, if you read Search Engine Journal or or if you read Barry Schwartz, our friend BS, on a daily basis, he's he's obsessed with algorithm
Yeah.
updates. He sees algorithm updates every other day. So I don't
Mm,
think it's that case, but I don't think Google. I think that it's in between those two things.
yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree with you. It's somewhere in between. There's a
Yeah,
lot of talk about noise in the SERP when really there isn't any, and there's a lot of interference with AI overview and features. And
yeah,
if you're tracking your classic visibility and you're not tracking presence in AI overview, then you're not looking at the full picture. Certainly as
yeah.
far as Google's concerned. But let's this is super interesting. Simon, I hope you're still watching, my friend. Let's talk about a stealth update, May the
Ooh.
17th. And if you were hit, you knew about it. Question I have, Sylvia, is why was this never published? Why did search engine
Nobody,
journals, nobody talked about this?
no,
When for
no.
me, it was the biggest, most painful update impacting largely affiliate publishers.
Yeah,
Okay, here we go. So we're looking at data visibility in the affiliate publishing space. Okay, so by this I mean publishers who are flogging products for affiliate commission. We all do it. 3rd of April up to today, they're in the green line. That was the unnamed update, and it's absolutely clear. 17th, I've had to clean up. I've removed friends, I've removed loved ones from this chart. Okay, but Men's Health, bang, 14% loss. They wake up 14% less visibility. Independent, yes, Simon, you called it, 25% loss. Esquire, 24%. I mean, this, and when this happened, Sylvia, and I spoke with a lot of people about this in the industry, and everyone was saying, is this the new norm? Is this the reset? Yeah, it was the new norm. Nothing's changed since then. It's a big reset. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in on the independent, shall we? Because, yeah, why not? By category. Strip out the competition. Zoom in. That is an algo update. That is site-wide. That was punishing affiliate content. That was unannounced. That was harsh. That's pretty brutal, isn't it, Sylvia?
It can be, I mean, from a traffic perspective, it can be absolutely brutal indeed.
Oh, yeah. Really. But even now, we're still dealing with lines. Even now, it still doesn't, for some people, resonate as revenue. But let's drill down one step further to the actual, just samples of products. And literally, I just took a selection of products that were performing well before to see what happened. Electricals, best electric shavers, best men's LED face mask. I'm thinking about getting one for myself, Sylvia. What do you reckon? Recommend it?
I think it's a great investment, John.
You could take years off.
I can point you in the right direction of best LED masks. I've been doing some work with some publishers, so I know.
I know you have, and that's why I asked you. And I tell you what, looks like this publisher could probably do with some help, but it won't be at a page level, will it, Sylvia? This,
No.
You need to take a step back at a site-wide level.
Yeah.
At a site-wide level. But let's remember, this is not a core update. This is not about quality signals. This is about something else. This is about Google waking up one day and go, oh, right, I don't really feel a lot of love for affiliate publishers today, so I'm going to punish them. I'm just going to hit them. And this was look targeted, and everybody else, the question marks there. When Google rolls out these updates, one or two things can happen. Google can bring in new, fresh content, or everyone else can move up like they used to in the old days. And we saw that first one happen with the previous spam update. Either way, that's not good for business. Now, let's talk a little bit about AI content. AI content. Okay. Yep. I'm predicting a big crackdown, and I'll explain why. But let's start with a poll. Are you using AI to help write? Okay. You're either not, or you're using it. Okay. Yeah, I will. For research, for ideas, for structure, for brainstorming, for things like that. And then once that's done, then I'll create content. Yes, absolutely, it's great to write the content.
Simon says, funny how domains with affiliations to people like Reddit and YouTube have massively benefited in the SERP.
Well, Simon, yes, absolutely. Yes. And Reddit obviously benefits in many ways. My goodness, we could talk about Reddit all day. Yeah. Okay, the poll is in. 16% no, 46% yep for the research, the structure, and all that sort of stuff. And I'm in that camp. Yes, absolutely, it's great for writing content. 38%. Okay. What are your thoughts, Sylvia?
I'm with the 46%. Research, ideas, structure. It's a godsend.
Have you ever written content with AI and published it?
No, never. I would never do that. Never. If anyone is listening to me, please don't do that. Please don't.
I tell you what, I have done it. I have done it, and it's actually worked really well. but it ain't going to work. That is not sustainable. So I'm not condoning it.
Yes.
I'm with you.
For instant uplifts that are not going to be sustained over time. Yes, if you need a quick fix, yes, but it's not going to last for long.
Exactly. Absolutely. So we're talking about AI content, and I was doing a bunch of digging, trying to work out how much AI content there is out there now.
Mm.
And as a minimum, probably at least 50% of new content has AI in it, has been written. You'll have chunks and paragraphs and sentences written. Anything up to I see results in excess of 70% of all new content. And obviously, since ChatGPT was launched, the amount of AI generated content has gone up something like over 5,000%. Well, of course it has, because there wasn't any of it before. So there's a lot of it out there. But let's be clear. It's not about using AI to generate content. AI can assist us in so many wonderful ways that you and I talk about every single day, for
Yep.
deep research, for structure, for brainstorming, for having an idea and pivoting it in different directions. It's incredible. But
You know what I used AI to do for?
go on, tell me. Go on.
So I was with a customer right before
Yep.
this webinar, and I was looking into their site and their competitor site and looking at fonts. So
Oh,
readability,
oh yeah, yeah,
font, the font used for the content. So
yeah.
how one of them, the competitors, was a bit better than this. Why was it? What font was it used? How much bigger it was? Whether what type
Ah,
of spacing were they using? So you can
cool.
go to that nitty gritty with AI. It's not content, but it's readability as well.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, if you took my AI assistants away, well, I'll tell
Oh
you what,
God,
Sarah, I wouldn't be doing this webinar. Nothing would be done. Nothing.
no.
I'd be 10 weeks behind in everything. My life is so much better for it. The
Yes.
content I create is so much better for it because I'm not creating AI content. I'm using AI to help create, to help research, to help shape and direct. But
Yeah.
let's remind ourselves of what's happened so we can predict what's going to happen. Okay, this year in that timeline. I probably spent more time on these little symbols than any other part of the presentation. But anyway, so what do we have in March? Well, good old Google says, hey guys, hey, I'm giving you advanced warning. In May, I'm going to drop a spam update. Okay, that spam update has got 3 parts to it. And you can see the acronyms there. Okay, so we got expired domain abuse, site reputation abuse, and scaled content abuse.
Yeah.
That is coming. Clean up your acts. In May, the site reputation abuse dropped. Simon, you were sitting in the front row of Brighton SEO. My last presentation, I'm just calling you out because you saw what that did. Anyway, site reputation abuse dropped, and that was where people were loaning out, for example, a subfolder for all sorts of content that was not related to their site, like vouchers and gambling and stuff like that, all sorts of sketchy stuff. Rightly so. That was kind of a good call. And then we emerged into the glorious sunshine, as Google said, because we've got rid of that lot with our first spam update. Remember, just site reputation. We're going to fill the SERP not with everything that was beneath it, but with new stuff, with social, with content from creators. And let's remind ourselves what Google said in March this year. What ranked in 2023 is not what we want to rank in 2025. And there's a lot of 2025 yet left. So this is not about the SEO that was done in 2023 is not going to work in 2025. It's what you SEO, what you're optimizing. And this is where we moved into the era of fast content, where Google pretty much told us, knocked on the door and said, hey, Sylvia, you know what we want now? Content that's firsthand from creators. We want more content from creators, content that's authentic, content that can appear in social forms. And it was you that told me that Instagram is going to be indexed in the SERP
Mm-hmm.
and trusted content. So literally, we've seen this plethora of content coming in. And in there, you'll see YouTube. And YouTube's interesting because a lot of people say, we can't really put videos on our site. It's not that sort of content. Nobody's going to be. But I tell you what, it was Prabhakar Raghavan at Google that said, hey, we can synthesize 1,000 videos in about this amount of time. What do you think Google's doing with that synthesization? What is YouTube content? It's first-hand. It's authentic. Okay, of course, there's a bunch of guff out there. But first-hand, authentic, social, it's trusted. So Google can not only see the content, but it can synthesize it, and it can actually pull that text into the AI overviews. And I was having a conversation with somebody just about 2 hours ago, how important that is. But what hasn't happened? As we move on to this pathway, this algorithmically challenging pathway where we've got AI and AIO and all of these things, Google's going to stick to its promise. It did better with the last 45% of the SERP out. The scaled content abuse is coming. It's coming.
That's a bold claim.
Sorry?
That's a bold claim.
It is. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, that some of my claims, many of my claims have come true. So, and I think I would say end of August, September.
Okay.
And we could even see the scale content rolled in to the next core update. Google warned us in March. It saw this coming. And to that end, and sorry, there's so many words on here, but I just dictated this onto the slide. Interesting how the advent of fast content, how Google's saying, yeah, real creators, get all that social content in. So that's happening at the time. So Google's calling people to put in fast content while it's working in the background to get rid of spam. It's done with that one tranche back in May. The second one, or rather the third one, is coming because the other one, expired domain abuse, they just deal with that anyway.
Yeah.
So let's remember what a spam update looks like. Okay, let's just, I should have a drum roll for this one. Imagine you were working for this business. It could have equally been the Daily Mail. Same happened to them. Same happened to many other newspapers. That, overnight, you're out. And that there was like a holding place. That was like a graveyard where Google kept this content still indexed in the SERP for about 3 weeks, and then it went, vanished, poof, gone in a puff of smoke. That's what spam can do. So when I say the scale content abuse is coming, it can be as deadly as that. That's painful. Spam is not like core, doesn't affect the entire site, but if your entire site is depending upon scale content, then you could be in sticky water. So, what is it? Words from Google. Well, let's pull out what's important. Many pages. If you're doing it to manipulate search rankings, to manipulate. Isn't that what we do daily? So we work in SEO. SEO is designed to improve visibility and get to the top of the. Is it? I don't know. Is it? Just putting it out there.
It should be more than that, shouldn't it?
Ethical manipulation, ethical optimization. But as Google says, they're talking about large amounts of unoriginal content. So even if imagine you're using AI to get ideas and if all of that lacks originality, and you've even got all the human element in it on top, and you've added your double eat, you can tick the double eat boxes, but it's unoriginal.
Yeah.
And that is bad. Okay. No matter how it's created, it's just AI makes it so easy to produce content that looks so damn good so effectively.
Yeah.
But so much of it is based upon everything that's already out there, making it by nature unoriginal.
Yeah. Vanilla content.
Vanilla. Okay. Again, we don't need to read all this. This is what Google's already said. This was their original statement. Okay. And I'm sure nobody out there is doing this, scraping feeds, combining content from different pages, building multiple sites so that you can monopolize the top of the SERP, except nobody here is doing that either. Do you see anyone doing this stuff, Sylvia?
I hope not. I read so much and I heard so much on LinkedIn back in the day, 2 years ago, I believe it was, when everyone was talking about programmatic SEO. Remember,
Yeah, yeah,
programmatic SEO with AI and churning out content and
yeah.
pages and creating every. Oh my God!
Content is king.
Yes, that was
Yeah,
painful to watch.
yeah. So that was the original statement. And what Google's gone on, it's basically updated its policy. It's kept it in the same spirit, it says, but what it's done is expanded it
Mm.
to account for more sophisticated scales of content creation. AI. AI. Then Google continues with this. Is it for manipulating rankings? So it doesn't matter if humans are involved or not. If it's designed to manipulate by thrashing out a ton of content, it's done at scale and it's not authentic. And I guarantee if it's vanilla AI, it won't be authentic because it's based on everybody else's content. If you're doing that, imagine a large part of the site dedicated to long form content, informational content, blog content. I tell you what, Sylvia, if you were a freelance
Hmm.
SEO and you weren't a good, you didn't care about the dark arts and all of that, and you were being paid to work for to write content, would you be
Uh-huh.
tempted to write some of that with AI? Would you be getting your Chat GPT, your GPT, and your Claude and building a work? I would. I tell you what, I probably would be.
I would. I think
I, we all would. Yeah, we all. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we would.
So, hence that's why there's so much of it out there. That's why the pieces of the jigsaw start to fit together.
Yeah.
Google warned us in March. It dropped to spam the first part in May. We saw how brutal it was. Then Google said, "Come on, guys, social, fast content, content from creators, all of that. Let's fill the gap." And when the
Mm.
SERP's looking nice and fresh, let's bring in this next update. So you don't want to get caught by it. You've got to focus on people first. Don't write for the algorithm like we all do. Content these days, I just read it and I weep sometimes. It reeks of over optimization. I know you feel the same.
I do.
Painful, isn't it?
I do. Please don't.
Yeah. All of that automated template-based content, just don't do it. Don't use AI scripts to generate lots of similar content. What people used to do in the old days, to create content for different personas and different locations. Toot, is that your dog, Sylvia? I've
That's
locked,
my dog. Just give me a sec.
I've locked mine out. SEO dog is out, barred from the shed. Well, so while Sylvia vanishes, okay, review all your existing content for redundancy. Alison, you're in here. Good to see you. Review your existing content. I'll tell you a story. Can I tell you a story? Can I mention the name? Okay, big newspaper brands. Big newspaper brand. Wasn't the Indie, wasn't the Telegraph. Good to see you again. I'm just telling a story. And they were hit by a big update. I think it was 2 years ago. I remember being in their head office, posh part of
Mm.
London. And he said, "We've been hit." I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not surprised. Look at your content. You got one article over here saying that coffee is going to make you live to 150. And then you got another article over here from 4 years ago that says if you drink too much coffee, you're going to croak." I don't know, it's like so much inconsistency. Take a look at, and I tell you what, they cleared it up. They didn't pay me a penny, cleared it up, and they rocketed on the next update. But look at your old content. Look at what you've got out there. And of course, all that old blog, long form content where you're really trying to work hard to produce when you look at it a year later, it starts to all look a bit samey. Yep, we're guilty. Everyone's guilty of it. Everyone's guilty of it. The content. Who wrote it? What are the credentials of the person who wrote it? What are their double eat signals? We could spend a whole day on what to look for when you're taking on writers, because I'd be
Yes.
so interested in their double eat pedigree. I'm really interested. I actually built a GPT to analyze people and score them. That's for another day, though. Um, Depth and context. Every page should include meaningful information. authoritative, decisive, in-depth in explanations and clarity. Because let's not forget, guys, the conversation is here. And all of this is going to help with the clarity. If Google comes to your site, it's a mess, it's not structured very well, there's information here, there, and everywhere, even though it looks okay on page, that lack of clarity is not going to get you into the conversation. And honestly, continually monitor user engagement, okay? Analyze, how much time people are spending on pages, bounce rates, etc. If people are looking at your content and clearing off, I've got to say that content probably sucks. Just putting it out there. Right. So as we move on.
Simon has guessed right, I believe. Which one?
Oh, yeah. Simon. I had some. Oh, yeah. I got to say, Simon, credit to you. You guys, we've recently added some very in-depth author bio pages to improve our double eat signals, and it's looking good so far. Oh my goodness. Carry on with that.
Yes.
What those content writers are doing off-site is just as important. Their history. That's going to separate out you from the vanilla AI rubbish that we can see now is half the SERP. You're going to avoid that big update that's coming. Well done, Simon. High Street Kensington. Yes. Yeah, you got it. He's like a detective. We'll have to get you onto the webinar, Simon. Let's do that.
Oh, he just mentioned that he's Brighton SEO speaker now in October.
I'll be in the front row. I'll be there. That's so
Well
good.
done.
That's going to be a cracking one. So do they matter? Heck, yes. More than ever. Why more than ever? Why? Because Google doesn't want any more junk going into either the AIO or the full conversation that is AI mode. It needs trusted content. And again, that's fast content. That's content from creators. It does not want that recycled vanilla AI junk, trash content going back in. Okay. If you're not winning in your sector and you didn't see an uplift and anyone else did, you've got to work on your double eat. We've done webinars on double eat. If anyone's not sure, you want to like a one-pager roadmap or something, just reach out, just let us know. Keep your eye on the competition. And when the updates roll out, particularly the core, stay on it every day. Every single day. Look at the trajectory. Look at yourself, look at your competition throughout. And that's for the core updates. What about the sneaky ones? What about what happened on the 17th of May this year that got everyone into a sweat? Why was it never mentioned? Okay, they do happen, as we can see, and there are others as well. They generally happen much faster than the core. They drop overnight, and that's it. And there's no coming back. And that kind of hurts, doesn't it? Because I still don't know why it wasn't in the press. And the thing is, I wanted to write an article about it, but I knew so many people who were in the mix of the pain that took a step back from it. Yeah. But anyway, they happen. And just think, magnify that 5 times and look forward to September. That's coming. So, wow, that went far. Summary and takeouts. Here we are. So, you got to know if you've been impacted.
Yes.
Know if you have, know if you haven't, and know if you got a negative. And the danger is, the updates happen, Sylvia. And it's like, oh, everyone gets into a panic. BS writes something, somebody else writes something, there are articles, and then it all goes quiet. And then suddenly somebody says, oh, the update's finished. And then life moves on as normal. Don't make that mistake. Get in.
That's the moment. No. Yeah. That's the moment when you get in, analyze whether you've been impacted or not, and start working towards recovery. That's the moment when you need to roll up your sleeves and start implementing optimizations to improve your quality signals.
And is there anything like, what would be top of your mind? What, if you're looking at a site that was negative, what might you be looking for first that they might need to improve? Is there anything that's top of mind?
I would look both on-site and off-site. Remember that there are signals that are off-site. What are people talking about you? and any reviews, anything that's been said about you anywhere else, look at that.
Yeah,
I would look at that first, and sometimes that is what gets overlooked. We focus too much on what it's content, author bios, blah blah blah. But is there anything outside that
yeah,
you may have not been aware of?
100%. I mean, you know, when you come to the double eat, that only applies fully to the authors.
Yes.
And those authors are transient. They work for a site for a period of time, then they move on. And Google is looking at them very closely, everything that they're doing.
Yeah.
Are they really an expert in this area, or are they just writing something for revenue?
Mm.
Um, Focus on fast content, first-hand, authentic, social, trusted content. And what I said about YouTube, even if you think nobody's going to watch your video,
Oh,
Google is synthesizing and digesting YouTube content like there's no tomorrow. And if there's a really big, the YouTube video with a lot of really good content that's actually ticks all the double eat boxes itself, then Google's going to take the words from that. And if it likes them enough and there's enough clarity to that message, that's going to be included in the conversation. So you won't necessarily see a video, but you will see that content. And there's so much video content that is so valuable for the conversation. You've already said double eat. Yeah, I'll double down on double eat.
yeah.
It's still important. But we've stopped talking about it because we've been obsessed, and rightly obsessed with the emerging conversation. But everything we do for this will pay off for that. Absolutely.
I remember that
And
one of the first things that we said about what it was called back in the day, the search generative experience,
yep,
is that quality signals are at the heart of the then search generative experience and now the AI overview.
yeah, yeah. They really are at the heart. And it's almost like everybody got obsessed with quality signals 3 or 4 years ago, and we've forgotten. But hopefully today, in those charts, in those losses and wins of revenue and traffic, you'll
Yeah.
understand that those updates are still vital. And I'd say if anybody out there is unsure or worried and doesn't know, not just the last one, but the one before that, reach out. We've got the
Yes.
data. We've got the data on everything. And you'd love to dive into it, wouldn't you, Sylvia?
Oh, I would love to.
Exactly. I was going to say, I'd be like a rat up a pipe. Um, so as we move towards the closure and answering any of these questions, quick poll: if anybody does want a demo of Pi, wants to learn some more, wants to see if they've been impacted, wants to find out more about the conversation and AI, for example, within the platform, then just fill in that. If not, we shall move swiftly on to questions. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
Right. Let's.
Holly Agomba. I don't know how if I'm pronouncing your
I
surname
know.
correctly.
Holly
Is
from.
there a way to track how you come up in AI via Google Analytics / Google Search Console yet?
You can. Yeah. Right. Go on, Sylvia.
There isn't. There's a way of tracking the traffic in Google Analytics that's coming from LLMs, but you know what? It's going to give you the better understanding of the AI.
Mm-hmm.
Pi.
I
Pi
would
is
say the
going.
easiest way was that.
Sorry,
Was that? I'd say I just look in Pi. I look in it.
that's
We're
what I
capturing.
said.
We're tracking that entire conversation. So Holly, let's chat. Let's take a look, and let's see the extent to which you're in that conversation and the direction that conversation is coming. Um, Simon's
So
had to do a run.
sorry, I was gonna continue as
Yeah,
answering
go on.
Holly. What we do have now the ability to look into the AI overview in Google. What content is there? What competitors? What links? Whether the AI overview is appearing for your keywords, for which keywords it's appearing in the AI overview. But at the end of this month, we're going to be able to not only give you that or give our customers that, but also we're going to track ChatGPT and um, Perplexity within our site. So we will extend the ability for you to understand brand interactions and brand mentions also on LLMs, for example, and whether the content that's being surfaced is what you want your brand to be known for, or the information that you want it to appear or not.
Perfect, perfect. I'm looking at other questions. Natasha, hello Natasha, glad you could join us. Has got a question. I will message you about that tomorrow. How does it affect AI visibility score of the brand? So I'll reach out to you tomorrow. I promised you I need to get back in touch with you anyway. Um, any other questions that we haven't covered or
So
missed?
Amrita Kundu asks, what to do if my site is hit by June core update?
Okay, if it was hit by June, I'd also want to know, was it hit by the previous one, and indeed the one before that. So I would love a historic view. If it was hit, um, definitely make sure that it was that update, and then I'd start to pull up. I'd use an EAT matrix. Okay, experience, expertise, authority, and trust down one side, and along I would have the authors, the content, and then I would have the website itself. And you can start with the website. You can actually start to look off-site as well, because when it comes to the website, that's authority and trust, and so much of that is based upon outside authority in terms of links, as you said, Sylvia, what people are saying, reviews, feedback, sentiment about the site. Then you can go to the content. You can only measure authority and trust in content. And again, you could have a scoring sheet for that. Then the authors, they get all four: experience, expertise, authority, and trust. So literally, I'd make a matrix. More than happy to share one with whoever asked that question. And maybe we could have a chat about that. So yeah, that's what I'd do. I'd build a matrix and start ticking it off, and then I'd look at my closest competitor or somebody who went up in the update, use that same matrix. Actually, the experience of their authors actually manifests better than ours, even though our authors are experienced, but we're not making that clearly enough. The expertise, okay, the authority, the trust. So literally a matrix, you versus a competitor who's gone up. That's a good way to start. Oh, unknown, you better be there, John. I want my T-shirt that you promised me.
That's
Unknown.
Simon.
Was that
Michelle,
really? That was,
yeah, that was Simon. Michelle says, will you have training for the new AI tracking tools in Pi? Yes, we will. Don't
yeah,
worry.
Michelle. That's an interesting surname. I know somebody with that surname. Lives in Australia. Anyway, that's a sidetrack. Any? We've only got 3 minutes left. Any last questions? If we have missed any, I promise I'll go through the list and we'll get back to you via email tomorrow. But if there's anything else, maybe not. I think that's probably a good time to. Oh, lots of hearts. Yeah, we love those, don't we?
Oh,
Yeah. Thumbs up from Chris. Yeah, Chris, where's the heart? See, does it work on here? I don't know if it does. Yeah. Ah, thank you, Alison. Okay, wonderful. Well, okay, enough of this. Sylvia, thank you so much. I
thank you,
really
John.
appreciate you coming on and sharing your wisdom and your knowledge about this area. Thank
Oh,
you.
it's always a pleasure.
Well, thank you. I know you've been so busy, so I really appreciate it. And to everyone who attends this webinar, these webinars, any of these webinars, in real time or later, we appreciate you. We really do. It means so much to us to see your names, the comments, the feedback, and the follow-up. And please connect with Sylvia, connect with myself on LinkedIn. We are always ready to answer questions to help you guys out. We love this stuff. So thank you.
Sweet. Thank you so much.